Hey everyone, and welcome to our fourth episode of Box Bits here on the Annie chat box. Today we will be reviewing the anime movie Penguin Highway, and I will be joined today by my lovely fiancée over in the living room, Cassie.
Oh, so fancy.
Also, I should mention my name is Dominic, and I'm going to be your main host today. I probably should have said that before introducing Cassie, but
I mean, I don't know, maybe I just bring the chemistry that makes you want to introduce me first. I got nothing.
I'm just so proud of you and everything you do.
Aww.
But yeah, today we'll be reviewing Penguin Highway, a movie we went to go see in theaters thanks to 11 Arts as well as Sloan the female otaku.
Yeah.
You can find their Twitters at hashtag or at sign 11 underscore arts. I'm doing a really good job with Twitter handles, and at Sloan the otaku. So big thanks to them for giving us the opportunity to see this movie together in theaters
And talk about it
on the podcast.
They had really killer timing, too, because I entered this contest on Twitter, and you guys totally should enter any contest that 11 Arts puts out, because they're really easy to talk to and get your prizes, and honestly, it's probably been the best interaction I've had with somebody. I had no idea who they were, so it's always a good opportunity to reach out and try those things out. You never know what you'll get, but they had really good timing, because literally, like, right before I won the tickets to go see this Penguin Highway movie, I had proposed in front of penguins to the lovely Dominic over there. So, like, the timing was just perfect. It was like, okay, we propose in front of penguins. Penguins become this big symbol of our relationship. And then we get to go to see a movie about penguins? What?
And ever since then, penguins have literally just been in our life in multiple different ways. I literally am unable to escape penguins.
Which is good.
I mean, yeah, penguins are pretty great. So
introducing penguins over and over again and making Dominic slowly fall in love with them is my way of slowly converting them to loving Penguin Drum.
I mean, whoa. Well, okay.
I just have to keep trying, and soon you'll be desensitized to anything other than penguins.
I already loved penguins to begin with. It's kind of the reason I watched Penguin Drum in the first place, way back when I first aired. But you're doing a decent job with that.
I'm doing the very best that I can.
But yeah, let's get to talking about the movie then, shall we?
Oh yes, this will be fun.
First and foremost, this movie is made by the studio. I should get the studio info. I should have that. Yeah, the studio that produced this is Studio Colorido. That is hard to say.
That is a mouthful. Yeah.
Studio Colorido. It is directed by Hiroyasu Ishida. I haven't seen anything else he's done. I think this is one of his more bigger productions, but I could be wrong. I'm not too familiar with his work, but for a first time thing that I've seen from this person, it left a good impression.
That's good.
Yeah, moving on to the synopsis. Schoolboy Aoyama is bright, inquisitive, and a bit headstrong. He has a lot of brain work to get busy with. After all, he'll be an adult in just a few thousand days. For the moment, though, he'll have to live life as a fourth grader. Not that it's a bad life. Summer has arrived and school's nearly out. He has a crush on an intriguing older woman he's met at his dentist's office, who's coaching him in his chess game. And a colony of penguins has materialized in the middle of Aoyama's sleepy little town. Where on earth, or elsewhere, did these waddling interlopers come from? Aoyama and his friends embark on a research mission, applying rigorous scientific methods and principles. Their discoveries, however, only lead to ever more puzzling wonders. So I just want to get a few other little staff tidbits out here. I found out that Hikaru Utada, the singer who does all the Kingdom Hearts openings, also sang the theme song for this, which
Huh.
I did not know. Another quirky tidbit is that the original novel was written by Tomohiko Morimi, who also did the novels for Tatami Galaxy, as well as The Night is Short, Walk On Girl.
Yeah.
So it has a bit of a tie to those Yuasa films we've talked a bit about previously on the podcast.
And you know what? I can kind of see it. Like the story has a lot of whimsy that is also present in the Night is Short, Walk On Girl. And from what I've seen of Tatami Galaxy, it's all about whimsy. It's all about the mood, and that's definitely present in Penguin Highway. So I can see it for sure.
So yeah, do you want to talk about the story, or?
I will say that the first few minutes of this film, where you follow a penguin just walking around, or one of the opening scenes, was the best part of the movie. We laughed so much in that first little segment. Maybe it's not the first scene, but like the second or third.
It's like one of the opening scenes. Yeah, watching the penguin just waddle around and getting all these little crazy shenanigans is just. Oh, we were laughing and, cracking up the entire time just watching all these. Like, there's one part where he gets hit by a car. And because it's not like one of the things is the penguins themselves aren't exactly like real legitimate penguins. So the penguin gets into all these like crazy
precarious situations.
Precarious situations that would normally be like, oh no, that poor penguin, but it's just kind of funny because the penguin gets back up and just starts waddling about doing its thing. It's really cute. And it sets a pretty good tone for the film. It's probably one of the better opening scenes I've seen in an anime film in a really long time.
It definitely gets you invested in the penguins.
Yeah. Yeah. That is a slight thing that I'm kind of disappointed in, is that you have this great opening scene with this penguin, and while there is a decent amount of penguins to be had later on in the film, you don't quite get as much
anymore. Yeah.
You don't get quite as much during the middle of the film, and there's not as much in the middle. I really wanted more penguins.
I mean, the film is called The Penguin Highway, or Penguin Highway, so you're expecting it to be all about the penguins. Now, it really ends up being about the relationship between what is the little boy's name again? My brain just died. Aoyama and just the One-sama. She doesn't really have a name. I think she's just called the Mysterious Woman.
She's just called, on Mal has her listed as Lady. Lady. Like Lady and the Tramp? Like just Lady. She's just Lady. Lady and the Small Child. But the subs call her the One-san. Yeah. And to be fair, I did find their relationship very interesting. They have this kind of sarcastic back and forth bickering that I think is pretty cute. I especially liked it at the beginning when they have the first shot of her in the dentist office and she just kind of comes over and lounges next to him, and they have takes his book and starts reading it. Yeah, and there's just this witty little bit of banter back and forth that like lets you know that there's an established relationship here that will be grown upon throughout the movie, and it had a nice first impact, but as the movie went on, I kind of wanted more to actually happen, and the twist of the movie is really predictable. So I guess the only problem I had with it was the actual underlying plot, especially because they have this like side expedition with another little girl that I felt was kind of unnecessary and took up a good chunk of the movie. Yeah, the added relationship with the younger girl in his class is very. It feels very just kind of. It just feels there. Yeah. Like it's just there to kind of give the kid, another sort of like something to compete with the older lady, but I mean, come on. How do you compete with a hot older woman? Like, all right. So listen, he is like a small child, so the underlying like weird like back and forth of him being like weirdly in love with her, I understand it because kids just love people who are older than them, and he thinks he's so grown up, so it kind of goes to show
like a part of his personality that he's in love with this older woman because he thinks he's so grown up himself. And that's one thing I liked about his character is because he thinks he's so good and so smart. Even when it comes to dealing with bullies, it's just all the same to him. It's just one more little thing on his notebook that he gets to write down and analyze later. But her reciprocating any at all just made me feel a little weird.
Yeah, I mean, the twist, you know, like, is supposed to, like, soften that, I think, you know, but it doesn't, it still really doesn't. I think one of the more interesting things about it is that if you, like, just flip the genders, like, kept everything the same, flip the genders, I think it would set off a lot more alarms.
It would be a much creepier movie to people.
Yeah.
Which says a little bit about our psychology if you think about it. But
yeah, a little bit. So yeah, that's an aspect that I kind of wish wasn't there, but generally overall I was able to sort of go, okay, whatever. It's just, you know, it's something that is kind of problematic. Well, not kind of. It is problematic, but it didn't ruin the film for me.
It didn't ruin it for me. I just hate that it's one of the last things you leave with.
Yeah, I get that.
But otherwise, I was kind of okay with it because it's a schoolboy crush. But I just wish it was a schoolboy crush with maybe somebody in middle school or high school or something. Then it would be at least a little less creepy because this is a full-blown older woman. Yeah. But if we're talking about anything outside of the story, like the production, I really, 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 really liked this movie a whole lot.
Yeah, the film is beautiful. One thing that really impressed me is, despite it being an anime movie, there is a pretty decent amount of use of CG, but it never bothered me. Like, I never thought, oh, like, that's CG. It looks ugly or it looks out of place, and I think they use a really cool way of, like, blending it into the actual 2D stuff.
Yeah.
There's like a nice sheen over all the CG things that really make it fit in with the 2D animated world, which I really appreciated. The movie, I think, actually opens with like a pan through Aoyama's room from the top. It's like a directly overhead pan through his room leading up to his desk, and like it's all CG, but it still looks really nice because of the way they've actually, like, you know, got it all blended into the art style. So I actually really appreciated that. And that, I mean, all the 2D animated stuff still looks great too. So overall, this movie just looks it looks amazing.
I really like the character designs as well. And it just all looks so whimsical and fun. Even when, like, you said there's CG, me, the queen of hating CG, I was totally okay with it. I think there was only, like, one spot near the end where they had, like, these little bubbles that they had to pop. I thought it kind of stood out and wasn't as well blended. But that scene wasn't very long, and considering how well they had done it through the rest of the movie, it seemed like a minor transgression. So if you like to watch pretty things, I couldn't recommend Penguin Highway enough. It's really nice to look at.
Yeah, it's a beautiful film. It stands up there with, you know, Ghibli movies and, you know, like actual, like, Yuasa films, stuff like that. It definitely leaves a lasting impression visually.
For sure. Also, the voice acting was really good too, especially we saw it in Japanese. There was an English dub. We did not see it. I wish Craig was here so he could give his thoughts, but he went to the English dub showing. We went to the Japanese, and the One-san, I loved her voice and I loved her delivery of her lines. I thought that she did such a really good job, and Ayama as well did a really good job of sounding like the most monotone little kid ever. So that was also part of the production that I thought was really stand out, in addition to the visuals, was the voice acting performances of the seiyuu.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I like the One-sama's voice as well. She hasn't done a whole lot. Yeah, same with Aoyama's voice actor. Also, I think, according to Mal, the only thing she's done anime-wise is this role. But yeah, I also thought the voice acting was pretty good. But yeah, they haven't done a whole lot of other things.
I actually thought, for some reason, it might just be the nasally tone she had, but she sounded really reminiscent to me of like Haruko from FLCL and
Yeah,
stuff like
I
that.
thought the
I
same
could have
thing.
sworn it was the same person, but it's not.
It's not, no.
It's not. She just has that kind of voice, and I guess
Yeah, she does.
I guess I just want to hear it more. I want to hear more of that type of voice.
It's a nice change from what we usually get. It feels a lot more familiar, I think.
Mm-hmm. So another really cool thing about this movie, Penguin Highway, is it was nominated for Award of Japanese Academy for Best Animated Film. So it did get a nomination for that. And it also was a nominee in the Best Feature-Length Film in the Catalina International Film Festival.
Whoa.
So
that is impressive.
Yeah, it made a few waves.
Yeah, I think that the original novel also won awards of some sort. I remember reading that somewhere. I don't have like a thing to back that up, but I remember reading that the original novel was something that won a few awards or something like that.
Ooh.
Something that garnered a high amount of praise at the very least.
Yeah, and I could see it winning some awards based on just its animation alone. And also, I feel like outside of a couple of really inappropriate jokes, this kid is really obsessed with breasts for some reason.
Yeah, that was... I mean, when Craig, because Craig saw this first, and he talked to me about it, and he was like, oh yeah, the only thing I remember about the main character is that, he's really smart, and he really likes boobs, and they make a lot of jokes about the boobs things. And yeah, when it did happen, it was just kind of like very much like, okay, I don't really think that was necessary, but sure. But yeah, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I mean, I guess there's a part of me that was like, okay, I could see like a younger adolescent boy having these thoughts and making these inappropriate comments, because I'm pretty sure they do. I've babysat some younger gentlemen, and they'll sometimes say inappropriate things about, poop, feces, gross stuff, boobies. I don't know why, but like kids just hit this age where they just have fun saying inappropriate words. And I think with him, he just put an intellectual spin because he thinks he's so smart. So he thinks he's talking about something that adults talk about, I guess. But he really sounds like a perverted little kid.
Yeah, I also think another thing is because he's like, he thinks he's, so smart or whatever. And he's reaching that sort of cusp of trying to get, beyond to like adolescence or whatever. He's like overly focuses on breasts. And then there's this line in the movie where he's like, I just like them. I don't really know why. It's not like he's like intentionally making sexual comments. He's just like, I really like this thing, but I don't really know why. It's like he's not quite at the, this is, an attraction sort of like a physical sexual attraction sort of thing. It's just like right below there, and he's like continuously making comments about it because he doesn't know why. It's really weird.
Yeah, but I just wish it had been done less, because
I
wanted,
me too.
Because like the first half of this movie, I was like, oh man, when this thing comes out on DVD, I can buy this for my nephew, because my nephew loves penguins, and he reminds me so much of the kid in this movie, even though he's not that age yet. But I feel like when he grows up, he's going to be just like this kid. He's going to be like a little scientist. He's going to think he knows the whole world, and it's going to be adorable. And I was like, oh man, I can't wait to show this film to my sister and my nephew. And then they just had to keep making so many boob comments. And then there was the weird relationship also in there that made me go, well, maybe not. Maybe I will not show this to Crystal.
Yeah, like I think if you outside of that, it's an incredibly tame, family-friendly film.
Yep.
It doesn't really have very many like random or weird anime like inappropriate oddities. Outside of those two things, I think if it didn't have those, it would be something very easily accessible for anyone of any age that's new to anime, which is a shame because it looks great and it would be something that would, definitely impress someone who's not familiar with the medium.
Yep. That's my only gripe about it, is that I feel like I can't show it to people who don't know anime already and who can't, nod off those strange little things that are in there that we are desensitized to by at this point because we watch so much anime and anime films. And I'm like, oh man, that's just such a shame. It doesn't really detract from the movie exactly for me, but it just makes me feel sad because I really, really wanted to share this with my sister. And I can't.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
But overall, I think we can probably get some final thoughts in here because we've been going for about 20 minutes. But I liked the film. If this was an official episode, I'd probably give it a like it. I think it's a good movie. I think that it's something that I wouldn't mind rewatching, especially to try and pick up some little stuff, little things in the background that might have been going on that maybe I missed the first time.
Yeah, we didn't touch on it, but towards the end, it gets almost kind of really existential. Yeah, it gets really existential. Sorry, thank you. No. I can't do words today. But
it's okay. I can't either.
It has this really interesting turn towards the end of the film where it does that. And yeah, I think for rewatches, it would be nice to sort of pick apart those pieces a little bit more. I'm also on the same page with you in that if I was forced at gunpoint to give this a normal rating, I would also give it a like it. The sort of uncomfortable moments are few and far in between, and while it's unfortunate that it sort of ends on one of those, the movie itself is really, really pretty.
It is.
Just completely gorgeous to watch. And I think outside of those moments, I did enjoy the banter. I enjoyed watching these kids, try and figure out the mystery and everything like that. So yeah, it's something I would definitely like to rewatch, and I'm glad I actually got the chance to watch it in theaters.
Yeah. So thanks again, 11 Arts and Sloan, the female otaku, because you gave us that opportunity. I don't know if I would have gone otherwise. I probably would have. Let's be real.
You probably would have, because you watch every anime movie in theaters.
I do my very best to watch every anime movie, but it's about penguins.
It's about penguins, yeah.
Yeah. I think that it's also just something that kind of went under my radar a bit, where I was like, oh, that movie's coming, but I don't remember when, and then it was on top of us, and I was like, oh no. But we still managed to go, and I'm really excited that we were given this opportunity. So definitely go follow 11 Arts, and definitely follow Sloan, the female otaku. And also, if you like this Box Bits episode, because we're releasing this one for free on YouTube and also on our SoundCloud. This is a freebie. You don't have to pay for this one, but if you like these little snippets where we talk about other anime or anime movies or things that aren't related to the podcast, we also will probably talk about video games, regular movies. I don't know if Craig wants to at some point talk about Game of Thrones. But we have these little sections called Box Bits that are available for, I believe it's at our $7 tier. So if you like these and you want to hear more, go check out our Patreon. You want to give out the rest of our deets?
Yeah, that is our Patreon at patreon.com/AnnieChatbox. We have these little episodes as well as other bonuses that you can get in on if you desire by throwing a little moolah our way. In addition to that, you can find us at twitter.com/AnnieChatbox, where we post all updates about our podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Including when these little Boxbit episodes come out, when early access comes out, and when episodes come out just in general. I run the Twitter, so if you ever want to say something to me on there, I will try and respond and talk to people, do what I can.
Let us know more stuff you want.
Yeah.
They might deliver. They specifically, everything that you request, Dominic must do.
Sure. But yeah, thanks again to our actual patrons, Paul, Suki, and Sarah, CorpsyAnn, Carol. You're the ones who allow us to actually get these little episodes out and are the reason that all of us now have spiffy mics that allow us to record separately and not huddled together in the living room. So thanks so much to you guys. We really appreciate everything you do.
Me and Dominic should have much better recording quality now because we'll be in separate rooms and not trying to share one mic and sound like we're on the other side of the room when we're right there. So that's cool. Thank you guys. We really, really appreciate it. A lot, actually.
So yeah, thank you all so much for listening, and we'll hopefully get these episodes out in a more timely manner within the next 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, look forward to it.
Yeah, this has been Dominic and Cassie with Box Bits episode 4. We'll see you all next time.
See you on the flip side. Oyasumi!